Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triple N Media. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM, a cardiologist from Houston, Texas. Welcome to Cardiology Seminars, where we have more than 300 cardiology lectures, starting with basic science, history, physical examination, lab studies, all the way up to the 2022 ACCH guidelines. Please do watch them and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. The feature presentation is myocardial segments identification based on 2D echo views, namely parasternal long axis, 4-chamber view, and 2-chamber view. This becomes extremely important in identifying areas of myocardial ischemia or myocardial scar or paradoxical wall motion, as well as in stress echocardiography to identify the regions that may have problem with wall motion abnormalities, thus helping us to identify the coronary anatomy that is involved in the region of myocardial dysfunction. Before I go any further, I would like to tell you I have created a cardiology rotations manual consisting of more than 250 pages of useful information for students, nurses, doctors, fellows, residents, and practitioners. I'll tell you how you can get a copy of this book at the end of this presentation. So let us begin with the feature presentation, and that is myocardial segment recognition based upon 2D echocardiogram views. Basically, we are going to be using three different views for recognizing wall motion abnormalities, chamber size, and volume measurements. But as far as stress echocardiography is concerned, these areas become exceedingly important not only in identifying the regions of the myocardium, because they are also exceedingly important in passing your general cardiology boards or echocardiogram board exams. First of all, the basic view we start off is known as the parasternal long axis, which crosses through the anteroseptal and the infralateral walls of the left ventricle. But before I get into that, let's look at this the 17-chamber depiction of the left ventricle. Here we have the anterior wall, and here we have the inferior wall. The septum and the lateral walls are divided into anteroseptal and anterolateral, and the inferior is divided into inferoseptal and infralateral. This is where people get confused depending upon the placement of the transducer. It's just that you have to kind of have a three-dimensional orientation of the heart to understand this concept. But let us start off with this the first view, which is the long axis, which goes through the anteroseptal area and the infralateral wall of the left ventricle. This is, we are looking at the long axis. As we can see here, infralateral, we have the mid-infralateral, apical infralateral, and here we have the anteroseptal, basal, mid, and apical. This is a long 2-chamber view. Then we are going to see in a 4-chamber view, here we have, and this is a 4-chamber view. We have the infroseptal region. This is the infroseptal area, and this is the anterolateral area, and of course the base, the mid, and the apex. So this is the 4-chamber view, which is sort of 60 degrees to the parasternal long axis, and that's very important to understand. So if you are starting off with the parasternal long axis, you are looking at the anteroseptal area and the infralateral walls. Whereas when you go to the 4-chamber view, we are going to look at the infroseptal. This is the infroseptal. They look alike, but the walls are different. We have the infroseptal and the anterolateral wall. When you go to the 2-chamber view, which goes straight anteriorly through the anterior and inferior wall, so you're looking at the anterior wall here, apical, mid, and basal anterior wall, and of course the apex, which is the segment 17. Then we have the inferior wall, which is depicted here. With this basic concept, we should be able to identify the location of the wall motion abnormality and the corresponding coronary artery that may be involved in this wall motion abnormality. I hope this basic concept is useful to you, and we need to memorize this diagram, because when we are reading echocardiograms, when we report wall motion abnormalities, we should be able to identify what region of the myocardium we are talking about based upon what view we are seeing the wall motion abnormality. Thank you so much for watching this presentation. If you want to get a copy of this book, please send me an email and tell me what is your specialty and what is your interest in cardiology. Send me an email to drniknikam@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to send you a free copy of this cardiology rotation manual. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. I will see you in the next presentation. Thank you so much.